The real reset is coming. President Joe Biden believes the Ukraine war will mark the start of a new world order. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this important information out there. Also, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I put out new stuff. And check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my merch store where I have Let's Go Brandon t-shirts, I Will Not Comply t-shirts, all types of t-shirts. So check those out. Each t-shirt you purchase, it goes to help fund what we're doing around here. All right, let's talk about this news. In the middle of the stupid 19 global pandemic, Klaus Schwab and global elite likewise announced a great reset. Accordingly, the nations of the world would have to surrender their sovereignty to an international body of experts. They would enlighten us on taxes, diversity, and green policies. When former President Donald Trump got elected in 2016, marquee journalists announced partisan reporting would have to displace the old, supposedly disinterested approach to the news. There's a common theme here. In normal times, progressives worry that they do not have public support for their policies. Only in crises do they feel that the political left and the media can merge to use apocalyptic times to ram through usually unpopular approaches to foreign and domestic problems. We saw that last year, fleeing from Afghanistan, the embrace of critical race theory, trying to end the filibuster, pack the court, junk the electoral college, and nationalize voting laws. These new orders and resets always entail far bigger government and more unelected, powerful bureaucrats. Elites assume that their radical changes in the energy use, media reporting, voting, sovereignty, and racial and ethnic quotas will never quite apply to themselves, the architects of such top-down changes. The people don't think that it's top-down. They think this stuff is grassroots, but it's really the authoritarians, the elites that's coming up with this stuff for their benefit. And they trick the populace into it. So we common folks must quit fossil fuels, but not those who need to use corporate jets. I mean, just look at the ones that's pushing this agenda and them flying in private jets. They're the ones that are one of the most energy abusers. Walls will not mar our borders, uh, but will protect the homes of Nancy Pelosi, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates. I mean, the hypocrisy just abounds. Hunter Biden's lost laptop will be declared by fiat, not news. In contrast, the fake Alpha Bank collusion narrative will be national headline news for weeks. Remember when that Alpha Bank stuff came out? I reported on it and said the whole thing was totally false. Vindicated again. Middle class lifestyles will be curbed as we are instructed to strive for sustainability and transition to apartment living and mass transit. But the Obamas will still keep their three mansions and Silicon Valley. Futurists will insist on exemptions for their yachts. In truth, we're about to see a radical reset of the current reset. It will be a different sort of transformation than the elites are expecting, and one they should greatly fear. The world and the United States are furious over hyperinflation that may soon exceed 10% per year. I mean, that's just ridiculous. We'll be lucky if it ends only in recession or stagflation rather than a global depression, which is, I fear, is what's going to happen. The mess was created by the same apparat who bought into modern monetary theory that silly university ideas claim prosperity will follow, vastly expanding the money supply, keeping interest rates at de facto zero levels, running huge annual deficits, piling up unsustainable national debt, and subsidizing workers to stay home. Natural gas and oil costs are now soaring to unsustainable levels, and to the point where the middle class simply will not be able to travel, keep warm in winter, or cool in the summer. Both in Europe and the United States, left wing governments deliberately curbed drilling and non Russian pipelines. They shut down nuclear power plants to subsidize costly, inefficient solar and wind projects. They ended up not with utopia, but with fuel shortages, high prices, and energy dependency on the world's most repressive regimes. The woke revolution in the West was supposed to test us that the white male dominated Western, I'm sorry, it's supposed to teach us that the white male dominated Western world is toxic, its origins, um, ascendance, and current leisure and affluence were supposedly due to systematic exploitation, racism, and sexism. Elites introduced cancel culture, doxing, deplatforming, and social ostracism to shame these supposed exploiters and to destroy their lives and careers. Few ask how a supposedly noxious West of some 2,500 years duration became the number one destination of millions of global non Western migrants and offered the greatest degree of global prosperity and freedom for its citizens. So a reset reckoning is coming in reaction to the new orders championed by Biden and Davos and the Davos set. In November 2022 midterms, we are likely to see a historic no to the orthodox left wing agenda that has resulted in unsustainable inflation, unaffordable energy, war, and humanitarian humiliation abroad, spiraling crime, racial hostility, as well as arrogant defiance from those who deliberately enact these disastrous policies. And I'm seeing it happening all over social media. I mean, even some of the leftists are like, wait a minute, what's going on? They're even starting to move a little bit more towards the middle. What will replace what will replace it is a return to what until recently had worked. Uh, Closed and secure borders with only legal and measured immigration will return. Americans will demand tough police enforcement and deterrent sentencing, and a return to integration and the primacy of individual character rather than separatist fixations on the color of the skin. You know, the totally anti Martin Luther King is what they've been teaching now. The public will continue to tune out the partisan and mediocre mainstream media. We will see greater increased production of oil and natural gas to transition us slowly to a wider variety of energy, strong national defense, and deterrent foreign policies. The prophets of the New World Order sowed the wind, and they will soon reap the whirlwind of an angry public worn out by elite incompetence, arrogance, and ignorance. There is some positivity there, but with all this coming and the wave coming and people are waking up, what will the New World Order, what will the elites do to keep their power? That is the question. They might end up doing something a lot bigger, like going ahead and pushing World War III. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrapublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.